Yeah, we're going to set an alarm clock because we're not going to, enough with the rambling.
But we like to ramble. Ramble is good. Ramble on.
These are sensitive microphones.
Ramble on.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Good to have you back.
And George, good to see you as usual, and all that. Okay, so let's talk about what's going on with Georgia because it's in the news right now. And Fani Willis.
Fahiny? Fahady Lewis.
Inappropriate.
No, why?
We don't make fun of people's physical attributes or lack thereof on this show.
Oh, on this show.
But you can do it over there around the corner.
Work out. I work hard to not be like that. So you don't have to be like that.
As we all know, Trump is facing RICO charges due to the election and trying to sway all the count in Georgia under the RICO statute, which was really kind of designed in the 70s to go after, mafia dons and things of this nature. And it was used against what's his name? Who's the Teflon Don?
Oh, who is that? I don't know. Don Juan?
No, Gotti. That's what they got Gotti on.
John Gotti.
John Gotti was RICO charges. And so the point is that, to be perfectly honest, I don't know all of the evidence that's going against Trump and his co-conspirators, as they're calling him, to kind of overthrow the election. But what I'm talking about is what's happening, that Fani Willis was brought into the courtroom to talk about her relationship with Wade, who's her lead prosecutor.
I didn't even see, I saw just very few snippets of it, but from what I hear out there, she just kind of did a really piss poor job of herself, of being herself. Oh, I don't know what I'm trying to say, but go ahead.
No, I know what you're talking about because she wasn't contrite. She kind of came in a little bit bombastic.
She was pompous and arrogant, and from what I saw, it's like, I'm not on trial here. It's like,
that's right. But
you should be.
But that's what she has to, that's the front that she has to put in so she can be seen as like a brave federal prosecutor against the Trump machine. But, and go ahead.
Can we talk about her for a little bit?
Well, let me back up for 1 second, because really what this boils down to, unfortunately, is the private life between Willis and Wade, and
overpaying him for no experience.
Well, that's a super valid point. It's like the guy that she was paying before him was getting $200 an hour, and he comes in without any experience, and he's getting $250 an hour.
Right.
And he's been paid over. I've heard anywhere up to like $1 million, but his firm has been paid up like at least over $650,000. That I read. The challenge is that
she was patient for a time, from what I gathered, but I mean, they were just, bombarding her with questions about that.
I think that.
Did you take a limo with him from your house to the gas station one time? It's like, what?
Well, I know, and it's like the questions kind of are just going into the absurd. But the
I don't care, man. Grill her.
The validity is there because it certainly smacks of impropriety, if not, nefarious, underhanded. Glad handing.
Man, you deliver some pretty good sentences.
Well, the point is not. I don't know if that one even made sense, but the point is that, what it really is, the crux of it is that she comes in and it's going to take Trump to trial, right, in Georgia, and she really should have her ducks in a row with how she's going to be perceived because she knows she's going to be under the microscope, and to sit there and walk in and have all of these details come out, which we'll talk about in a second. 1 second. And then, okay, go.
No, I just want to say some things about the case, too. I mean, she misfiled the case because when she's talking about putting in the RICO statute, she was saying that she admitted the indictment that the violations governing the RICO statute she applied were federal law enforcement. That's a federal crime. You can't have a state prosecution for a federal crime. So that's a misfile right there. That should be thrown out of court. Also, she disclosed the grand jury info without a judge's signature before it was okay to release to the press. That's a felony. It should be thrown out of court. The whole case should be thrown out of court. Go ahead.
Okay, and that's up for the judge and jury to decide.
The judges,
Okay, but backing up now, this is
That's the law.
Let's get back to to really what's
Let's
happening
get back
right
to
now.
her pink jumpsuit she wore on the stand.
No, it was whatever. It's pink's her color.
I'm just kidding.
She looks good.
Fuchsia.
I know you are.
But yeah, the RICO thing, and then go ahead.
Okay, but at the end of the day, it really kind of comes down to, did she lie on the stand, or did she lie when she talked about the relationship with Wade didn't start until after after he was hired in the case?
Who gives a shit about that?
Well, because she's lying in a court of law, and she's a federal prosecutor.
It's not worse than what I just displayed to our viewers.
Well,
it's way more. It's a misdemeanor. No, it's a felony.
Well, it is, because it's perjury, and yet you're.
Oh, you mean we've actually indicted and charged somebody with perjury before in this administration? No, perjury is like an accepted thing for Democrats. Nobody gets billed for it. Nobody gets charged for it. Nobody gets indicted for it.
I don't know if you should be on this. What are you on? Intermittent fasting? I think this is where this is coming from.
I think I should be in a room
Anyway,
with a white jacket.
The bottom line
padded.
is that we're going to move. That's what's
I'm
happening
sorry I
right
got
now
thrown.
is because somebody.
Sorry, it just gets me going.
I
It's like
get it. You don't need to say sorry to me. That's for sure.
perjury. It's like nobody gets prosecuted for perjury anymore. It's just a pet peeve of mine.
Well, this is the whole case is just becoming crumbling
Mayorkas.
because now the conversation is about Fannie Willis.
Mayorkas, Biden, Trump, everybody.
Okay,
Everybody.
okay, but get back over here.
You know, one of
Okay,
those shepherd hooks.
because this is now the whole dialogue about this case is now about Fannie Willis and Wade and what happened there and who paid for
You mean
what
this segment?
and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's what the scuttlebutt is out there with the news coverage and everything. Is they're talking about this now. Of course, you have, and to your point, I did want to mention that I was trying to find something that was a little bit more critical of what was happening in the courtroom and everything, and I Googled it, looking for. Oh boy, that struck a nerve. And sure enough, you got to go down like 40 entries or 50 entries before you find something from a conservative news network.
So true.
And the point is that all of the other ones are all about, Fannie holds strong and everything. Now
It's Fannie, though, isn't it? Fannie. She wants Fannie.
I don't know.
She wants to be
That's a good
pronounced
one.
Fannie, which is why I have my affectionate term for her.
Okay, but the biggest thing, see, is it already been?
You have to have a louder timer. What you have just there is more than what you wanted to say. You could just have a monologue if you want.
At the end of the day,
You could have a monologue.
At the end of the day, even on MSNBC,
Yes.
which is
They said she didn't look
you
good,
had
right?
a legal analyst come in and said it's game over. If they show that they lied, then the whole thing falls apart.
I mean,
That's it. It's done because you cannot lie. I mean, she has to
Okay.
hold herself to a standard.
well, but my point is,
She's going after a president.
I mean, when she misfiled the case, whatever, she is the signature, and she said, well, I didn't know how the court works and the clerk works, and her signature is literally her job to know that because her signature is on every single prosecutable case in that district. So her to say she doesn't know how the courts works, that's a lie. That's a felony too for releasing it. She's done 4 felonies before this. So why are we concentrating on this when this, to me, granted it's a felony, the big F word, it's a felony.
It's not a felony to lie, to perjure yourself.
In federal court it is.
Oh, look at you. See, I
Right?
didn't know.
That was kind of an asterisk. I got to look into that, but I'm pretty sure if it's in federal court. No, yeah, because when it's all under federal indictment, it is a felony. But why are we concentrating on this little thing when it's like, oh, I lied about the date I saw him? We all know it's just a sham and it's a freaking.
Because that doesn't seem to have any traction with anything until what this bombshell happened over the last couple days.
This is like an
That's what I'm
esoteric
talking-
that's a bombshell.
I understand.
And it's like, it's wrong. I mean, you guys are focusing on the wrong thing. Everybody.
Well,
Not you.
the judge.
This
not
is
me
just
per
a talking
se.
point for you.
The judge didn't throw it out of court, so what can you do? You got to kind of roll with it. But the point is that this is very, very compelling. And my umbrage is with that she walks in there and she sits there and pontificates from her. She turned her witness box into a pulpit, and I understand she's upset, you know. But to sit there and not show a little bit of contrition is maybe not the angle you want to do, you know, when it comes to public perception. And that's what's happened.
She had no choice but to go on to
offensive
to testify, but she's not going to testify today. Only one day, because she said she's not going to testify today. But what is it? Is that her choice? I guess it would be. She wasn't subpoenaed, right?
It was voluntary.
I mean,
okay,
but did you know her? She's the daughter of not to bring race into it, but she was the daughter of a Black Panther. She was a federal prosecutor with gangs in her district while she was dating a gang member of the people she was prosecuting. I mean, conflict of interest it doesn't even it has nothing to do with her, evidently. She doesn't even know what it means.
Yes, but that's not ipso facto conflict of interest. It certainly makes you believe that her political leanings are one way, and she has a vendetta. It's circumstantial, right? But it's like it's not okay. But remember, these are tighter segments now, buttoning it up.
I don't like these tight buttoned up segments.
You don't?
No.
Well, we're trying them out.
Yeah, we are trying them out.
You let us know what you think. That's it for now. On the plus side,
we just got some. One guy said, "Bing." Yeah, go ahead.
They say the article just came out that green bananas are good for fighting cancer, like hugely good, because of the type of starch it has in it.
Well, I haven't heard that, Tim.
I don't like green bananas.
You have an uncanny knack of going into some sort of just lighthearted thing at the end of a sentence.
I try to.
That's good. I guess it works.
Well, I guess it works.
But same with green tea. Is green tea green bananas?
I'm already done with my coffee, dude. That's what I'm saying.
So you chug it. You take big chugs.
Well, I guess so.
I take little sips to last for the show.
I think it's you get me all wound up or something.
Well, I get wound up at the whole thing where, I mean, I know it's just a talking point we're talking about, but that to me, like, oh, you lied about that guy, and it's like that's what we're gonna hang our hat on as far as her corruption. It's like, wow.
I know it's a long list.
It's like, oh my God, I murdered 3 people yesterday. But you had a ham sandwich at lunch today. We're gonna get you for that ham sandwich.
Because you said you're a vegan.
Because you're a vegan and you had a ham sandwich.
Vegan
sandwich. All right, that's good enough. We're zipping it up.
I'm smiling. Okay, thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.